What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm featuring some of the best solo builds that you can use to defeat the 7-star Iron Valiant and Roaring Moon raids for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. These can be some tough raids. I know a lot of people are going to be recommending Pokemon you can't necessarily get in the base game of Scarlet and Violet, but I got a couple of options for those who don't have access. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and support my work by becoming a channel member, and let's dive in. So the Roaring Moon and the Iron Valiant is alive now and is going to end on actually October 11th at 7:59 p.m. Eastern for those who are on the East Coast. And yeah, the Roaring Moon hits really hard. It has Dragon Claw, Crunch, Iron Head, and Earthquake. It will start the raid with Sunny Day and it'll use Dragon Dance later. This thing is an absolute physical monster of the adamant nature, and honestly, you do not want to be weak to Dragon. And I will say Iron Head flinches are very annoying for sure in this raid. Iron Valiant is a mixed attacker with Spirit Break, Aura Sphere, Zen Headbutt, and Shadow Ball. It does start the raid of Electric Terrain. They'll reset it up again later. It will use Swords Dance a little bit later in the raid as well. I will say this one overall isn't that bad because it has more frail defense. And since it's a mixed attacker, you can sort of exploit it in a way, but I will say Spirit Break, lowering special attack damage, is a little bit annoying, but overall it's not too bad. And yes, both of these raids have a 15% chance of dropping at least one Herba Mystica for you. And of course, you can do the 5-star versions of all the Paradox Pokemon. They only have a 3% chance of giving you Herba Mystica, but in general, the raid rewards are really worth it. So this is a pretty decent way to get version exclusives if you don't have them. But currently at the time of recording, the version exclusive raids are bugged and you are unable to join them. Hopefully that is fixed. If it's not fixed, then shame on Game Freak. That's horrible. But at the time of recording this video, you cannot join a Scarlet raid if you are in Violet and vice versa for the 7 stars. Now for the best solo builds to beat Roaring Moon. And I'm going to say this. The Blue Worm strikes again. The shiny Orpworm makes a return, and it can absolutely destroy this Roaring Moon and make it a comfy and cozy, easy raid. And what I like about Orpworm is any player can get it. You know, you can get it without having the DLC, without having Pokemon Home. It's an incredible Pokemon, and I highly recommend it. So to build an Orpworm, we're going to go Terra Fighting with the Shell Bell. Max HP, max defense with a plus defense nature. You want the ability Earth Eater. The Roaring Moon has Earthquake. When he hits you with Earthquake, he is going to restore your HP, which is really nice. So you're a Steel type, you are going to resist Dragon, which is also great. Essentially, how to play this is super easy. You're going to set up by starting with 3 Mud Slaps to build your Terra Charge. And then when the timer hits 80%, you are going to start setting up your Iron Defenses because he's going to wipe your stats. Then you want to go for Iron Defenses, get max Iron Defense, Terra Fighting, Body Press, spam until he removes it from you. When he removes it from you, go for another 3 Iron Defenses, spam Body Press, win the raid. Super simple, super easy, and like I said, you can catch this Pokemon pretty early in the game, so you don't need to have Pokemon Home access. However, I will say that Magearna is an absolute beast. And fun fact, Magearna can both solo the Roaring Moon and the Iron Valiant, so it may be the best overall Pokemon in this raid, but it is both incredible. Now, Terra Fairy is what you want, and there's 2 different items you can run. Covert Cloak means you do less damage, but because the Roaring Moon has the move Iron Head, Iron Head has a chance of flinching. And if you're like me, a chance of flinching means you're going to get flinched 50% of the time, every time. And Covert Cloak will prevent that. However, you will be doing less damage in the raid, which I do think is disappointing. So you could replace Covert Cloak with Metronome. I did on my live both of them. And I will say this one felt more comfy with the Covert Cloak, but it was definitely a lot slower without it. And you will need to make sure that you PP max your Draining Kiss. But I do recommend Draining Kiss, Lore Cannon. It would be like your signature nuke. It does a lot of damage. You may want Iron Defense on here. That's up to you. You can replace Iron Defense with Terra Blast as well. That's a pretty decent move. And actually, I like Shift Gear as an option because the Roaring Moon will outspeed you. But if you use a Shift Gear, you know, you can increase your speed by 2. And in some circumstances, you can actually outspeed the Roaring Moon. So pretty decent. But the important thing is Draining Kiss, PP max out. And that's pretty much the only thing you need. And probably Floor Cannon. But everything else is very optional. I ran mine as max special attack with max defense and a modest nature. And this Pokemon's great for solo play because if your ally is faint, you get a special attack boost. Not so great for online because the timer goes down when your ally is faint, but in solo, that doesn't actually happen. Now, Fairy Arceus also works for both the, well, it works for this, and then a different Arceus works also for the Iron Valiant. Pixie Plate with the Terra Fairy. I'm running mine as max HP, max special attack, modest nature. And this is your standard Arceus set with Acid Spray, Chilling Water, Judgment, and Recover. You can start the raid by doing like 1 or 2 Chilling Waters. You can do some Acid Spray spam, you know, and then it goes through shields, and then Terra Fairy, Judgment. When you hit under 50% of your life, you do need to manually heal and go for Recover, so keep that in mind. But I do think these 3 are the best overall Pokemon for this raid. I'm sure there's other great ones. I will say, though, Intimidators are going to be the best thing to happen, so you may want to raid reset until you get some Intimidate partners. However, I've cleared it without Intimidators for all 3 of these, so it is definitely possible to do without Intimidators, but you may faint at some point. Orform I've never fainted with, so keep that in mind. And now let's go into a live for the Orform clear for those who don't have Magirin on Arceus. Time to take down the 7-star Roaring Moon with Orthworm Gym. Now we do have 1 Intimidator, which is pretty decent with the Arcanine. I will always recommend having 1 Intimidator. The more the merrier. It always just makes the raid easier. And good RNG, you'll probably get 1, right? So he starts the raid off with a Sunny Day, which is going to give us an attack boost. Whatever the highest stat is, he's going to get a boost. So it's going to be his attack at the moment. We're going to start off by just going for 3 Mud Slaps in a row. He hits us with Earthquake, which he can't hit us with because of our ability. So it doesn't affect us. It actually restores our HP. We were at full, so we didn't get any HP. And then bam. Mud Slap, accuracy down. Hit it 2 more times. Alright, so we get hit. And we take that like a champ. So we're always going to be slower at this point. There's a chance it gets paralyzed, but Orform's so slow it doesn't really matter. But we're so tanky it doesn't honestly matter at all. So now he's going to get his Raid Shield up. And he will wipe our buffs at the 80% mark. He will wipe our buffs twice. However, it's not a big deal. We just sort of want to wait till the 80% mark before we buff, but you could do it early. So there we go. We're going to get our Terra off now. We can get it off if you want to go for some early Iron Defense stuff. Or you can keep going for Mud Slaps and just wait for it to happen. He's going to go for an Iron Head, which is pretty funny. I just usually tend to wait for the 80% timer, which should be happening about right after this turn. Crunch. You got a crit, which is quite unfortunate. We got another Mud Slap. But now he's at -4 accuracy. And we got like 1 HP back. So now we are going to start setting off. Oh, he didn't go for it. I'm going to go for Protect. Just a waste a turn here. Yeah, Crunch is probably the only scary move because it can really drop our defense. All right, there we go. But that was a low. That was definitely past 80%. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to Terra Fighting, and I'm going to go for Iron Defense so we can at least take the Crunch better. It will be a resisted hit. And we are going to start, you know, getting +2 defense. We're going to try to max our defense to +6. So we do get a free turn here, essentially, because he did all the resetting stuff. Iron Head. He's critting. We're surviving, though. He's critting, though. We get another Iron Defense. And we dodge it because of those Mud Slaps. And there we go. So now we're max. We're going to do decent amount of damage here. We don't resist anymore, but yeah, that did like 12 damage. Okay, so now we need a body press spam. Spam that body press. We're not going to get... It's not going to be too much damage, but it's just enough damage where you can just sort of win just by doing this and get enough HP back. And he's just going to keep missing us because of the low accuracy. And this is where we're just comfy cozy. Like, this raid is not the fastest clear, but it absolutely is one of the safest possible clears. And we got a crit. Beautiful. Hey, crit for crit makes sense. He owes me one more crit, though. But for those who don't have Magirin, or those who don't have Arceus, because I'm sure tons of people me showing off how to do those. And like I said, those were my live. So you can watch the live stream where I did Magirna and where I did Arceus if you just want to see how that goes. But those are pretty simple. And like I said, not every person is going to have those. All right. Dragon Claw. So ideally, we remove his Terra HP, and then he'll remove our buffs. He will remove our buffs one more time, which is when things can definitely get scary. He has the Dragon Dance in his back pocket. He has the second Sunny Day coming as well. So that is when he's going to be doing as most possible damage. But pretty much, it's scary if you get hit by a crit. That is what's going to be scary. All right, so one more body press, which should take him down here onto the Terra. And I just realized the reason why we're outspeeding is because our Toxapex has been hitting with Mud Shot and he has that -6 speed. Only reason why Orform is even outspeeding. Doesn't really matter either way, because as you can see the damage we're taking, we're so freaking tanky, it doesn't matter. All right, so now he's going to remove our stat changes and abilities. So you can actually get a free turn here. And the free turn is just going to be this Iron Defense. You could hit Protect, but when I hit Protect here, usually I fail because it is a free attack. He does not attack on that turn. So this is going to be scary because, you know, we're only +2 defense. But he did not crit me. So now we can go to +4. And then one more. Give me that +6. And this is the last time we have to set up for the entire raid. After this point, we can just hit body press and just win the raid. And be pretty good. Do that body press damage. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. So it's not horrible when the shields are gone. Because Roaring Moon doesn't have the best physical defense. That's his worst stat overall. So we are at least hitting the side that is weak. Okay, so yeah, so his special defense was heightened, which is pretty freaking funny. He didn't get an attack boost because the intimidates. So that doesn't affect us at all. And I think 2 more body presses and we win this raid. This is definitely a respectable clear on the timer. Like, absolutely a respectable clear for a body press Pokemon that is not doing stab or super effective damage. Like, it's really good. And one more will give us the kill. And that is how you're going to be able to do it with the Orform. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are watching this part. I really appreciate it. We are going to be covering Pokemon Legends ZA very soon on the channel. So if you're into ZA, you definitely want to be here for all that fun stuff. All right, so this is going to be the kill. Orform Jin has taken out another villain. And 7-star Roaring Moon is destroyed. You can do this. You could try to farm for Urban Mystica. You have a 15% chance of getting at least one. So it's not horrible odds, but there's definitely been better raids to farm than this series, in my opinion. And now let's move on to the Iron Valiant. Oh my god, triple up on the herbs. Let's go, baby. Best solo builds for Iron Valiant. Now, Pecharunt I have never featured in a video until today. And Pecharunt is actually my personal favorite because, one, you can get it in Scarlet and Violet. You don't need to have Pokemon Home or any other Pokemon games. You can just get it. And I really like to show it off on this, so I'm going to do the live on this one. But Pecharunt with the Terra Poison and the Shell Bell. Max HP, max special attack with a modest nature. Its ability is really cool. When you poison your the Iron Valiant, it will also become confused, which is really nice RNG. Essentially, if it hits itself in confusion, it won't hit you. The poison also takes some of the timer. Essentially, how we're going to run this is Acid Spray and the Chain move are the only 2 moves I really use in this raid. Sludge Wave is a, if you somehow run out of the chain, use Sludge Wave. I would definitely PP max this. And then Nasty Plot, you can probably pop in there as well if you want to at some point. But the most important things is So use the chain, use the spray, and you're going to be good to go. And we'll show it off in a moment. I actually did get the clear with Galarian Slowking as my first clear. I checked it out on my YouTube live. Terra Poison with the Shell Bell. I ran max special attack, max defense with a modest nature, and essentially alternating with Chilling Water and Acid Spray to lower that physical attack so we don't get hit by Zen Headbutt. Acid Spray to get lower that special defense, and then we can spam Terra Poison, Sludge Wave, and do pretty good damage. We did faint once towards the end of the raid, but we still got the clear in a solo, and I do think this Pokemon is actually pretty solid, but, you know, obviously I think there are some better choices. Now, the Terra Steel Magearna is really good. I don't think it's as good as a Terra Fairy Magearna that we would use for Roaring Moon, but it is very good with the Shell Bell. Max HP, max special attack with a modest nature, but I'm running the ability Soul Heart. In solos, when your raid allies faint, you will get a special attack boost. Well, technically in all raids, but better in solos because they don't lose a timer for you. Essentially, what you want to be doing is like Flash Cannon is in your main damage move, and you have Shell Bell, Flash Cannon to get the HP back. You can set up a Calm Mind to increase your special attack, special defense if you want. Iron Defense, because it does have Swords Dance, that if you want to pop an Iron Defense, you can use that to increase your defense by 2. The last move, honestly, Metal Sound I never ended up using, so I don't know what you would replace it with. You could put Draining Kiss, you just want a little bit more HP. That is definitely a possibility. I guess if you want to put like something to remove the terrain, you could try to do that. You could like Ice Spinner. There's a couple possibilities here. Like Misty Terrain also works too. So just up to you on what you would like to do there. Shift Gear is another decent option as well. Arceus Poison is another excellent Pokemon. Works super great, just like it works for the Terra Fairy Arceus. The exact same build. We're going to Terra Poison with the Toxic Plate. Max HP, max special attack with a modest nature. Your standard Arceus build. Chilling Water to lower that physical attack. Acid Spray to lower that special defense and make it so you can charge your attack as well. Terra Poison Judgment spam when you go under 50%, use Recover. Super easy to do with Arceus. I do think Arceus is probably better than Magearna in this raid. Overall, I do think Magearna is better than Arceus in the Roaring Moon, but we're going to be showing off the Pecharunt. Time to do the Iron Valiant raid. Intimidators can definitely be helpful here. We got the Arcanine again, which is pretty funny. In a different game, that's pretty funny. They can be helpful, not necessary because it is a mixed attacker, but it is pretty useful overall. Pecharunt just has such an amazing defense stat that I don't even think you need it. I clear it my first time ever doing it without properly thinking, without an Intimidator, so I think you can do it too. So we're going to start the raid off by just spamming some acid sprays here. And this is going to do actually pretty decent damage. Pretty decent. Get the special defense drop, which is really nice. Get a little bit of HP back here. And we're just going to go for that again. And honestly, if you die here, which you probably will, that is like not even the worst thing. And if you do think you're going to die, which I do think I'm going to die here, what you can do is you could go for defense here. I actually might live this because I didn't get trolled. You know, if you get hit by a crit or you get a special defense drop, you will die on the third one for sure. I think I lived this, so I'm just going to go for another. You can probably take this Shadow Ball. Yeah, we definitely take the Shadow Ball. All right, cool. So we're going to go die here. You don't want to Terra on the turn you die because then you lose your Terra for the rest of the raid. But what you want to do is on death, you can use a Cheer, and that Cheer will be permanent. This is a fun little thing. And we are going to use a Hang Tough here. And we should faint. Hopefully it hits me with something he can hit me with. There you go. So we die, and that's on purpose. That's it. So yeah, he did, you know, we did 3 acid sprays, and, you know, unfortunately, he removed all the stuff. But that's okay. That's okay. You know, it makes our timer look a little bit worse than it actually is. All right, so now we can Terra, which is really nice. And so what we're going to do, we're going to Terra, Poison, and now we're going to hit Acid Spray. And that was the first time he removed his debuffs. We're not going to really focus on buffing ourselves up. We just want to focus on debuffing him, because that just makes the raid a little bit easier overall. Plus, he does have a Spirit Break. And, you know, if we get hit by Spirit Breaks a couple times, we would lower our special attack, which is definitely annoying. But we take that a lot. That was a crit. That was a critical hit. So yeah, we're tanking that super well. So okay, we're gonna lower that special defense. Right, so he's at -2. We want to put him at -4. He's gonna keep on the Shadow Ball spam. Not going for the Zen Headbutt because we have such high natural physical defense that Shadow Balls actually would do more damage. And also, these Acid Sprays are doing a lot of damage by themselves, and we're getting a lot of HP back. So this is such a winning situation, and I really love Pecharunt for this. So one more Acid Spray. Oh, he's going to go for another Shadow Ball. It's not going to do much. We're going to get that HP back. And then, oh yeah, I mean, we're going to break his shield next turn. He's going to have -6 special defense. And now we're going to go for our chain. So yeah, he set up Electric Terrain. Is going to last for 5 turns. That attack set of his is going to probably, it might be a special attack going up because we do have, let's see what happens. Speed was up. So he actually might he's been outspeeding us. So that's not even a big, that's actually like that's the best case scenario. The stat doesn't matter. So now we're going to go for the chain. There's a good chance we can get a poison here. If we get a poison, we get to see the confusion memes. Oh, and just look at that. Absolutely destroyed. And we get the poison, and he's going to be confused. Now, he might remove his debuffs here, but this is still hilarious. And, of course, we get the full HP. Like, Pecharunt just feels so good. Yeah, remove his negative self effects. Remove stat changes and abilities. That is okay. We are going to go for Acid Spray. This is a free turn for us to go for Acid Spray. And this is going to make everything a little bit easier because he's at -2 now. Swords Dance. So yeah, he's going to start hitting pretty hard now. But if he keeps hitting Shadow Ball, then it's fine. Go for another Acid Spray. Then Headbutt. I mean, it's not Stab. It's not Terra Boosted. And yeah, it's super effective, but we have really high base defense. So at this point, we just go for the chain move, and we definitely knock him out. He's -4. He's cooked. And, I mean, we just got to hope Zen Headbutt doesn't punch me or crit punch. And none of that happened. We chain him up. And this probably takes him out. And super easy. Iron Valiant is a lot easier than Roaring Moon, in my opinion. But yeah, Pecharunt, I think, might actually be the best. I think it might be better than Magearna and Arceus. I do think it's a beast. And, of course, you know, you can get it within Scarlet and Violet proper, which is pretty freaking phenomenal. So there we have it, guys. That is everything I got for the Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant raids. Like, let's go. 3 herbs in a capsule. Beautiful stuff. But there you have it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, guys. And let me know in the comment section below what raid builds you used to clear it and if you enjoyed it. Anyways, see you next time. Peace out.